Hey team, how we going? If you don't press the like button, I'm going to make you eat the whole bag. Welcome. Welcome to tonight's stream. Tonight might feel like we have been on an absolute tear, spamming you with information in the last few days, as some of the highlights of previous streams have been basically spilt all over you. A lot of work for me, not much for you. Most of them have been 4-5 minutes. That's about it. But it's great to be here. And I'm here alone tonight. Just like Jack in his cave. Dave D, here he is. If it's too loud, team, let me know. If the music is annoying, let me know. If the picture quality could be better, I'll go and ring up Aaron Dixon. And then he can come and deliver instead. But tonight is about not just Australian Army, but it's about life. Something that most people have, got in front of them, mistakes behind them, things that they want to change. But it's also about, if you knew what I knew, you'd understand why I do what I do for you. Guys and gals, I have had an up and down, topsy-turvy, snakes and ladders life. But I've had an amazing life. And sometimes I feel sick at the very thought of what I'd missed out, or what I would have missed out on, almost all of it, if I had to have enlisted in the military, the ADF, the substitute to being a tradie, or tertiary education through university, or entrepreneurial pursuits, or working at the corner store, or law enforcement. You won't get it there either. You'll only get it from military, where everything is paid for. And we've got some slides made up we're going to go through for you tonight. But as you participate with each other, and we celebrate the sergeants in the stream here that we can see with the sergeant stripes beside them. Well done. Don't take your bloody anger out on those below your rank. And I look forward to talking to you. At the moment, I'm here alone. AWOL is Lauren. I hope she's okay. If she's watching now, she's got a sniper that lives out in the backyard. She should be apples. But guys and gals, if I go to glasses, I will be 10% sexier. Okay, we've got Brody Payne there. Yes, I'm saying that to take a jumper. Oh, okay, this is talking about the most confusing thing of all in the military, where they say take warm weather gear, which normally you would think means board shorts, beach towel, etc. But what we're actually talking about is cold weather equipment. We don't give you a hell of a lot of it, and there's not much room to put it in. And you make a bit of a captain's call whether you take it, substitute comfort for weight, etc., that you'll be carrying. And one of the slides up here is going to explain that. Alex, how we going? Private pile. I've had a pile, but not today. But I have got a little bit of problems going on with the back end, and it could be the fact that I've been on Navy ships a lot of my career. We've got Nathan Ireland here. Ireland's in the stream, as Dolly Parton did say, who was famous for her big hair. Isaac Newton, g'day mate. Do you know Tesla shares went on a burst, but they reckon they're going to topple soon. Apparently Bitcoin has also taken a big hurdle. Not like Joel Budd, who's had hurdles his whole life. We've got Jake Williams Cameron. That's the most confusing thing for an instructor, when someone turns up with 3 names. Which was your favourite father, Williams or Cameron? 2 dads is what we call you. Awesome to be here again. Thanks, Kaz. Good to see everyone's here. Tasmanian Devil. In the absence of God, I'll take the devil here. G'day, mate. How you going? Hope things are going well. Down in Tassie, that's 2 opinions straight up. Emperor Toast. That's some good toast. Hey, Kaz. Haven't been on a stream in a while. That's fine. You make it when you can, mate, because you're very bloody welcome. Wipe your feet on the mat and come on in and bring your opinions, because it's all a free space here, mate. You can come in. No quarantine. I can't say a lot at the moment over what's happening in the USA with big tech and the crackdown on freedom of speech, which everyone should be scared of at the moment. But I'm here until they say, Kaz, cards are toppled. We've got Marcus here, my favourite Roman name. Ethan Davidson. Similar to Harley Davidson, which is now gone electric. That sort of goes against the gangster lifestyle, doesn't it? Jam Man. Sounds like a Navy guy. ZW, g'day mate. Joel Hurdle's throwing some white hands out there. How dare you? John Wick, I didn't touch your dog. And we've got Jake Williams. You're telling me only putting down Williams for choice. If you're going to make a choice, put it on there. Otherwise, we see Williams and we see Cameron and we think, which one of them's your real dad? and that's been something they've said from the very start of military, I'm sure. Mr. Patterson says, no, Kaz, the back end is from Coke and takeaways. Mate, I've given up the alcohol. I've given up the gambling. I've given up the fast girls, and almost everything that brings fun to me life. Don't take Coke, Red Rooster off me as well, and Mexican food. Light food. I'm learning as I slow down, I get more done. Yep, you don't go off the lounge for anything unless it's worth it. People say it's lazy. No, you don't judge a lion on its inactivities. It lays with its balls up in the prairie waiting for the threat that may take its life or its pride. You just know to conserve your energy for the day that you draw for and slap it down on your foe. There you go, we've got Dino again. Hope all is well, Kaz. Appreciate the live streams. $5 should cover the modem bill. Thank you, mate. Thank you very much. I'll whack that in some dog food that won't make me dog vomit for 24 hours. How does that sound? Let's put one of the slides up here. We've got the coach here. I'm going tomorrow for my medical assessment. How long after the medical is fitness assessment? Normally, it should only be a few weeks later, mate. If it all goes well with your actual assessment. If it all goes well. Have you got anything you need to be nervous about? Let me know. Guys and girls, when you have a career, a life, you're going to get to a certain time, no matter what you've chosen, where you're going to reflect. Middle age, where does that start? Depends on you. But somewhere in your life, you're going to look backwards and you're going to say to yourself, did I live a life? Have I had a life? And where did it go wrong? Where did it stop? Where did it just stop? And then the fun disappear? When did I stop living? And what was it that caused it to occur? Was it financial duress? Was it an injury? Was it having children? Was it when you became too responsible? Was it when you gave up having a beer and then ultimately become goddamn boring? What was it? Don't know. When did you stop taking your pants off at bloody barbecues? Jay Hayes, coach, should sign up under the chat box. Yeah, if you can be a member team, it's all good for you. Lauren is busy, Mr. P. For those, don't be nervous, but we have a sniper in the chat, a real one. Good to have you here, JP. I hope you're wearing the colours loud and proud. And I don't mean multicoloured like a bloody rainbow. And the thumbs down guy. If you're out there, make sure you do your job and thumbs down. All right, you puppy hating freak. Here's our first slide we're going to talk about. And I'm talking at the moment from a military perspective. And those that are veterans are going to absolutely believe me in this. Bam. In a military career, something that it offers you that most careers don't is the ability to have amassed riches, a lot of money in assets, information in the bank, etc. But we tend to spend it like rock stars. Okay, what other career sends you out bush for a month? Sends you overseas for 6 months, no tax, double pay. But then you come home and it seems like you have a fever to spend it all like a Zyrtec as quick as you possibly can. And we have a spectrum of those that never have anything, that are always 1 week behind. And we have those that research, know what to do with the money, have been educated, spend it on the right things while still having fun. Did you know you can buy a house, a unit on the water in Townsville for under $500,000? So you could almost move out as soon as you're allowed to, get a mate to move in with you. He'll get paid rental assistance by the military to live in your property, and then 5 years later you have the choice to either sell it, diddy him out from the village, stay there for longer, etc. And then never pay rent. It's your house, your apartment, and there are payments you'll be able to live quite easily on. But for some reason we don't get the memo. Jack Cave, I wish I could talk about him, mate. Mr. Holmes, howdy Kaz, how are we? We're very good, mate. We're very good. Sticker. People forget to be themselves and be 100% honest. They do, mate. And that's how you give away your soul. And that's where the wokeness of the left keeps dragging you over, telling you what you can and can't say. And before you know it, You don't even know who you are anymore. And it can happen like that, one barbecue at a time. We've got Ethan Davidson. I'm going to have to go to glasses in the second team as the sun drops below the horizon. You reckon you can sing us a song? Oh, well, as you know, I'm the songbird of my generation. And sometimes I wish that I had just his girl. But he's married to her. Because all the good ones are pretty much taken, aren't they? It doesn't mean you can't have a crush on a married woman. You just don't do something about it. That's all. 6-3 Yankee. I knew a bloke who lived in for 15 years and saved $1 million. I know the same guy, JP, but guess what happened? He ended up meeting a bigger boned woman who was spending money like what? Like a bikie with no tattoos. He was going through, I think she was going through his money so goddamn fast. I don't know if he had any left. But I don't remember him doing much living either. We're talking about Spike, I believe. No, another fella who paid off his house years ago, who's got a missus. Great job. They've got a great family. They've got a great life. And he used to party like a bloody convict. That had just been released early. Pardoned. But he's got everything now. And it was just because he didn't spend it all. Team, you don't need to spend all your money. Sometimes you just don't get to eat the caviar. That's all. George sat out. What do you sit out of, mate? VFTK. That's a good regiment to go to as infantry. What's a good regiment? Well, there's only one. There's only one. And that's the Royal Australian Regiment. There's only one. If you're going to regular army. Other than that, you're going to go to the 2nd Commando Regiment, Commandos, or you're going to go to the Special Air Service Regiment, which is the SASR, both Special Forces. Songbird, mate, good stuff. 6-3 Yankee, yep, thought that. Yeah, that's right, JP. Draco. Sounds like a Romanian count that's unforgiving on his guests. Kaz, would you recommend the gap year? I don't know why someone would do the gap year, but I don't have a problem necessarily with it either, Draco. I think the gap year to me is like doing 1 year's national service. And if that's you, not too cow, respect it, thank you, well done. Okay, but I just see you do too much work for what they need, and you'll never actually know what it's like in the army. There is no way if you do gap year, you know what it's like to be in the army. Because what happens is you come in and all that time is a kapuka, and then School of Infantry. We're talking 6 to 8 months here in training. And then you'll start and already do your discharge into something and then have to requalify something when you get out. None of that makes sense. Why wouldn't you stick in for another 4 years? And then whatever happens next, it turns you into a different version of you. Do you think you're going to be the same version of you after you do a year in the military? Around other like-minded individuals? Absolutely, you won't. You won't be the same. But it might also be too late to pull that out and say, oh, well, I'd rather do regular now. So gap year, that's just pros and cons if you do it for the right reason. Yeah, okay. But you have to know the reasons. And it can't be because you're too nervous to go in for 4 years, lack of commitment. Because you'll give the same commitment to the training continuum, but you won't actually give it to what's going to pay you back. The time where you get the battalion, slow down, have a gym, buy that house in Townsville, $450,000 while eating Cactus Jacks. Simon, I got promoted. You were a sergeant for the first time in your life. I've still got your bloody Fitbit right here, mate. I just needed to come up and give it to you, but it's school holidays. We know it's crazy. And my back end's blowing out bloody red exhaust. What do you know and think about Army medics? I've got approved for the role. Just need to do a PFA. It's not what you think. Medics is not what you think. It's not like the movies. You know, I believe that I know the best way that medics should go forward, and they're not doing that. You're going to be looking after piss people that have been bashed, people that have tripped over shit outfield, some catastrophic injuries that happen occasionally, but other than that, it's not what you think it is. When you're in an operational environment, absolutely it can be. But the people that go to medics, for some reason, instead of being fit, smart, awesome, you know, able to be actually fitter, quick thinking, bam, they're normally fat, lazy, you know, and in there and just get ruined by the sedentary nature of being in the air conditioning or sitting in the back of an ambulance waiting while the doers do and for something to go wrong. If it was actually, I believe that in the battalion, what should occur is we've got signals, we've got DFSW heavy weapons, we've got snipers, we've got mortars, we've got a bloody recon, we've got surveillance, we've got pioneers. Why don't we have medic platoon where people can go over there with their fitness, sideward step, they already know how to do everything infantry, they know how to move with the herd, and then from there what should happen is they slowly get their controlled stores, controlled drugs, qualifications, go and work in hospitals, etc., in emergency wards for free, which helps the government as well and helps the local hospital, keeps the dickheads that are on crack, out of the emergency rooms, and then from there, priceless. Yep. Good luck, George. What's George doing? Aptitude test. I'm shit scared of the aptitude test. My true IQ, what is it? I don't know. I don't want to know because a lot of people don't know you can't actually improve your IQ. You can improve your IQ test, but you know what can happen? As your fitness goes down and you get older, your IQ can actually drop, but it doesn't get higher. It doesn't get better. Jack, where's Jill? What kind of shape do you think is a good point to be at? I'm looking to get in 2 hour. I'm in pretty good shape right now. You've got to be in bloody good shape, mate. They're very reconnaissance orientated, which is not about the fight. It's more about gaining information below the detection threshold, which means normally a water element mixed with an insertion element, okay, with prolonged lack of sleep in adverse conditions. So fitness is not just about how quick can you get from A to B, it's how long your body can take the shit as well. Let's move on to the next slide. Another thing that you get in your life that you may not get as a tradie, that you may not get as a, as an entrepreneur, that you may not get in any other industry is the mateship and the friendship. Because you actually get to know people in adverse conditions for like 24 hours a day, for 6 weeks, 6 months, a year. And it doesn't matter if you like them or not. If you don't like them, they can still be a mate. And when you shuffle them around, then they can become friends. JP down here, we've known each other for over 20 years. Well over 20 years. Yeah. Haven't seen each other for probably 15 years. And it's like I saw him yesterday. His cheeky smile. He makes me laugh. Yeah. And not in a kind of way that's disrespectful. I love being around him. JJ, how you going, you submariner? Mateship and friendship, they're not the same. There can be a little bit of grey matter in between, but mates will be your mates. They'll have you back all the way. They'll have you back all the way, but when your career's over, the mates tend to be, how you going at reunions? I remember that guy. Yeah, I remember him. But there's not a continuation of the relationship. So don't get mateship and friendship mixed up. When you get to Kapuki, you're going to think they're all your friends. They're not your friends. They're your mates. You're not going to see them again. When you get to Singleton, some of them are actually going to be friends. But most of them are going to be mates. When you get to the battalion, most of them are going to be mates. When you go on operations, most of them are going to be mates. Friends are hard to maintain. It's like a relationship. You've got to give. You've got to be able to call them. If you don't call a single person this week, how many people are going to call you? Be careful. Don't test it. It can upset you. Because sometimes you'll get none. I just like my goatee. What colour is it? If you said black, you're racist. Press like if you can to. It'd be great to see a few likes, and hopefully it brings all the girls to the yard. Simon. Luke Hutchins. Luke. G'day, mods. Yeah, look at him. Look at him. Old JP looking after the rank. See all the sergeants here now, mate. Did you know the Sergeant's Mess is one of the most exclusive clubs in the world? You get to see all these rich people that want to go here, want to go there, want to be a member, at the cricket grounds and all that. But the Sergeant's Mess, it normally takes well over 10 years to get in there. Officers can only come in by invite. It's a really amazing place to go to. And it has a lot more character than an officer's mess. which you go in from day one. You know, there's nothing exclusive about an officer's mess. Pretty boring place, really. Hey, I'm sorry I'm late. Lauren, that's fine, mate. I just hope you're okay. Give us a thumbs up if you want to join in, because we're talking about wisdom tonight. And there is no monopoly on that just being in military. I'm just giving my perspective. If people knew what I knew, they'd understand why I would love them to follow the footsteps that we lead in some different way, which won't be the same as my career, but will lead them in a way that one day they're not looking back going, if only I hadn't have gone to the pub that night. If only I hadn't have had those divorces that actually led to nothing good, especially if there was no children born from them. Hey, Lauren. Hiya, Miss Lauren. There you go. Can we get some thumbs up and some g'days for Lauren? Please, in the chat. And for all of those that are new to the channel, it's fantastic to have you here. All you got to do is, bam. All you got to do is subscribe to the channel, and you're going to see your name pop up the top. Pop. They all pop up here, which is from it. Okay, what else we got? We're seeing a whole lot of craziness going on in the world at the moment, team, with this breakdown of freedom of speech. We're seeing all sorts of platforms disappearing. We're seeing whole swaths of people disappearing from their online presence, and it's pretty scary. It is. Because since when does big tech able to have more of a say than what anyone else is, their actual patrons, etc.? Why is there any freedom of speech? We don't have freedom of speech in Australia. Never mistake that. But you should be able to say whatever you want. But the only people tell you can't say what you want is people that tend to be woke, tend to people that lean on the left. But you're not allowed to be affected or insulted by anything they say, which is preposterous because almost everything they say is a joke. Hey, Johnny, how you going? Johnny Zach. What a great name that would be to be in the military, because if your name is Zed, okay, that means you're last on the roll. The last person they get to in the list, which means you never get picked for anything. You're a smart man from birth. We've got Tyson Walker up there throwing 3 hands up. Ivan Milat is on his way. Green River Killer. I've been watching the docos on that. It's quite entertaining, actually, to see that the profiler's got it so wrong. If you don't know who it is, that's Gary Ridgway. And if this channel that you don't know about, that you really need to, what's her name? Lovely Lauren? Jennifer Harlow. Jennifer Harlow? Fantastic true crime channel. You'll love it. King Carnage. Image banning. Imagine banning the current. Yep. Free speech, the world can't handle the truth. Yep. Does it make you wonder for a second? What is it? What power does he have left that they're actually panicking about? With only 10 days to go. Less than. Battlefield 3. That's a good name. It wasn't as good as Battlefield 1. Battlefield 4. You know, Battlefield 5 I think is fine too. And there's starting to be snippets of 6 coming out now, which is exciting because I'm a Battlefield guy. I'm not a Call of Duty guy. I got my dinner. I'm now ready for the stream. Good on you, Luke. The force is with you now. JJ, the Submariner, about to go for a run, Kaz. If I'm going a few times a week, what distance would you recommend? As long as you've got an active life, mate, you know, you can almost get away with anything. You know, when it comes to running, I used to just get out there and run. I'd run 5Ks. I'd run an interesting route. You know, you can run 2.4 to intensity, 5 kilometres to intensity. You can go and do a hill run, so you don't have to go far. But again, the intensity of the incline is devastating. You can put a Fitbit on and compete against your mates, so you're just staying active. Have a look at the surface. Most places you may not realise have a rubber-coated athletics track in your vicinity. And if you can, you go over there, jump the fence and do some laps. Where there's will, there's a way. We expect you as soldiers, as future soldiers, to be, what do we call it, Dave? Resourceful. And find a way of achieving everything. And there's a million things you can look at internet on how to improve anything, including cooking chicken legs. I've got two. The horse is bolted. I learned that wisdom the hard way when I stopped calling people each week. It may have contributed to depression, but I learned how few friends I had. And that's where the difference between mates and friends are. A lot of people we think are friends are actually opportunistic mates, that you were there at a time that it served well, but until that time is tested, you're in trouble, you're in need. Will they be there? How many people are going to be at your funeral? Will there be enough to hold the coffin off the ground? Or will the funeral director himself be getting paid extra to haul your casket and launch it into the pauper's grave? Johnny, Zach, that's right. Until you get some bright spark who wants to make an example of someone to give them a shit task. There you go. Let's wake the next one up. Teamwork, earn trust. Yep. There's nothing better than being in a role where you actually know that your back is covered, where you don't have to ask, can you help? You just know it's sorted. And you know the person is qualified, and that's why we have to have standards in everything we do within the military, and we can't afford cookbooks. G'day, Flies. I saw you up there before. Flies big as cats. Always very, very active. Great to have you here. Lauren, I'll call you in 2 seconds. When you know that everyone is trained to a certain level, there's an expectation, an assumption that I know that you can do this, then the rest of my job becomes easy. You know, the problem with civilian life is you don't know who is in because of quota. You don't know who has got a job there because of their orientation. You don't know what their qualification was to be there. And the bullshit we hear all the time is I was more qualified than those people, yet I didn't get the job. And you go, well, that's bullshit. That doesn't exist. That's never happened. Because when does the applicant actually get to see the resumes of those that they're competing against for said career? They don't. They're full of shit. And that is people not taking responsibility for they did something or said something wrong in the interview process. This is a true friend that I'm about to call right now. Someone who's had a completely different life to me, but has had a hell of a lot of life spent in the trenches herself. And you all know her as lovely Lauren. Hello?
Hello?
Guess what?
What?
They all float down here and you're going to eat the whole bag.
It's all right, I float too.
That's okay. Are you okay?
Yeah. It's just been a day. And part of wisdom is knowing when to share and not to share. I'll share with you later.
Okay. I like como estás.
Share with just your close friends and when to blurt it out to the whole world.
I like como estás. And by the way, I think I know who the thumbs down guy is.
Oh, do you?
I'll tell you later.
All right. Again, wisdom. What have I missed?
Not too much. We're just talking about a few things tonight. We're talking about life's journey. I've written Australian Army and life, but I'm writing if you knew what I knew, you'd understand basically why I do what I do and why it's so important that we are the ones that are, if you consider this, that the path is lined with people bearing torches to lead your way. Lauren's got a torch. I've got a torch. JP's got a torch. Simon Powell's got a torch. Yep. We're all standing there as you walk through there like this person on the screen in the yellow jacket at the moment who is moving uphill. There's tension. What's coming next? What awaits around the corner? It looks like it's going to rain. But we're trying to keep you from going off the moors. Don't travel off the moors. What movie's that?
I don't know. I wouldn't have a clue.
American Werewolf in London.
Oh, man, I haven't thought of that for a long time. That's a great flick.
Yeah, Jack gets whacked.
Yeah, that's a great flick. Whenever I think of the Moors, I always think of the Moor murders or Heathcliff from Wuthering Heights.
Do you reckon we could easily guarantee that every single person right here in this chat right now is going to make a catastrophic mistake one time in their life?
Oh, for sure.
Yep.
Yeah, at least one.
And it sucks, but you do learn from it. But the whole point of us having this is we can talk about these catastrophes and then you can see them when they're coming. And maybe that's enough to make you jink to the left, jink to the right, and just sidestep one of the predictable pitfalls that you're going to have in your life whether it's in a military career, whether it's relationship, whether it's financial, whether it's trusting someone who's a mate, not a friend.
Yep. Big difference.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's those mistakes that in my life, the ones that have hurt, that I've hurt myself, that I know I've caused problems.
2 seconds, sorry. Everybody hurts.
Yeah.
Okay, go.
Exactly. Those are the ones you learn from the most, and those are the ones that shake you up into not doing that again and changing behaviours that might have led you to do that. So they're the most life-changing ones. If you're not feeling hurt and you're just blaming everyone else, you will never get wise.
It's true. I saw a question today. Let us know in chat. What is more important, intelligence or wisdom? But you can't say both. Which one is it to you? Intelligence or wisdom? Let us know.
I think you need a bit of a balance.
Don't give them a heads up. Don't give them a heads up. Do you think there's something ominous about orange jackets like that raincoat on the screen?
It kind of says warning, Will Robinson, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's very, this is the next person to get whacked in the movie.
Yeah. I'm just glad I'm behind them.
Yeah.
So they can see what's around that corner before me. I just hope those rocks are netted up on the thing so they don't slide down.
Couldn't we freak someone out by getting everyone on the channel to meet in one area like that, where we just stand up on cliff faces on both sides, just looking down at people with their head on the side with that weird look on your face? So they're walking through, they're like, what the hell is going on here? In the middle of nowhere.
Oh, yeah, we could do some great pranks.
Okay, so we're seeing a lot of votes for wisdom there.
Yep, indeed.
Okay, wisdom is intelligence plus experience. So wisdom. Okay, Holmesy?
Yep.
We can get wisdom from doing exactly the same thing 100 times over and learning from the outcome.
Yep, and I think you can gain intelligence from having wisdom, the wisdom to know where to find the knowledge you need.
But your intelligence doesn't actually, there's really kooky, weird people with off-the-tap intelligence, but they don't have common sense, and we call them Japanese.
Oh, come on now.
Lovely people, but how the hell they get across a road safely, I'll never understand.
Yet they're like, the way they run their cities and their earthquake-proof technologies and that, amazing. And maybe it's that ability to be a bit kooky and think outside the box. I don't even think they believe in the existence of a box sometimes. They're so innovative. Amazing.
They're amazing. It's one of the I have to go places. Look, I'm going to say wisdom. A bit of both. Chongo, we just said you can't do both, mate. You got to choose one.
I think wisdom is more important than intelligence, for sure.
Yeah. Wisdom is something that you only get from living. The difference is you're not going to get. You can get streetwise, and you'd have heard of that subject before. I've got this like sticky ass.
What?
You can get. JJ's getting excited.
Yeah, what have you been doing?
Not much. I've been sitting on the white donut all day. Basically, with wisdom, I realise that I am not what you would call the high span for intelligence, but I've had an amazing life. And I've been around people who are very intelligent, and I've been around people that are basically like an anchor for an anchor.
Yep.
It's denser than a diamond, but loved them all the same. Now, the wisdom that I've got is from making my own mistakes and seeing others make mistakes. Your intelligence, you can't get more intelligent. You've got a set intelligence level.
Yeah, the actual definition of intelligence is your capacity for logic, understanding, self-awareness, learning, reasoning, things like that. We all have a capacity for intelligence.
Yeah, and I've been around a lot of people that I see standing there when I've spoken to them before, and their head goes, with that sort of, I understand where you're going with this, but you don't know where you're going with this sort of thing. when you get over your skates and you realise you're dealing with a more intelligent person, having sat down with Jordan Peterson before, I knew I was in the presence of someone who was awkward but
Yep.
off the Richter scale when it comes to actually intelligence.
Yeah.
You know, but he's got wisdom as well because he's got his daughter with. He grew up in a very tough neighbourhood. You know, he grew up in with a child with special needs, so he had all of the wisdom required to have an adverse life, and he's come through very well.
Yep, nothing like responsibility to give you some wisdom if you pick up the responsibility and take the duty seriously.
Yeah.
You know, whenever there's something difficult that we have to do, not because we should do it or because we've committed to do it, there is a reward at the end, and that is the wisdom that you get from just bearing a responsibility.
Yep. It's to put it simply, you'll see soldiers, male and female, that may be intelligent but dumb as fuck.
Yep. Because
they've got civilian intelligence, they've got no military wisdom. When it's 5 o'clock in the morning and the platoon sergeant comes over and there is frost on the ground and you are freezing, absolutely freezing, and the platoon sergeant comes over and goes, "No warm weather gear, take it all off. We're going to be moving in a minute." And you're going, "Oh, I'll just leave on me thermal, whatever." "Oh, yeah.
Yep.
That's because you're a dumb fuck.
Yep.
You know, the platoon sergeant, you don't think for a second that there's a reason why he's saying what he's saying.
Yeah,
if he tells you tonight, don't take your boots off, no boots off tonight.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. Like what you said about Jordan Peterson. There's wisdom in knowing when to listen to someone and trust their wisdom.
Yeah. And you don't have to question someone who's got more wisdom in that role when you've walked another 3 kilometres, no time to take off a thermal. You know that you've done the wrong thing. You're now as hot as a pizza pocket inside a microwave on, what's that show called? It doesn't matter. And you can't take it off and admit that you disobeyed a lawful command. And you've realised now you're overheating and the platoon sergeant was right the whole time and now you'll never do it again. You know, when someone says to you, I'll give you a tip, young fella, don't take your boots off tonight, and then suddenly in the middle of the night, how did they know we were going to move? And what's the most important one, Lauren? Never go with that girl.
That's a really good one.
Yeah.
But in fact, it's the opposite of wisdom to not listen to even question someone who you has wisdom, and you can tell when someone's got wisdom if they are, like you said, if they're your superior at something, if they're the more experienced at something. You can certainly ask them questions and say, why do we do it this way? Maybe not in the army, but I know in the tattoo shop I always wanted someone to say, why do we do it that way? That's fine. It's better than you saying, well, I'm going to just do it my own way.
And you'd better listen to the wisdom of the tattooist when they tell you, I don't recommend that. Because you're going to have it on your skin, on your meat suit for the rest of your life.
Yeah, and I don't want anyone to regret anything I do either. That's my whole goal, is for them to love it forever.
Yeah. Jonesy's saying, final interview tomorrow at 0700. Wish me luck. I'll let you know how it goes, Kaz Jonesy. I can't wait to hear how it goes. And this could be the start of the rest of your life. An 11 platoon are now intact at Kapuka, all of them, allocated to rooms, and now wondering what the hell comes next. No more days off for the next 6 months as they go through Kapuka and then through their IT training. So let's think about them for a second. But not too much. It's their fault and they volunteered, so suck it up.
Yep.
Hey, we've got Bailey here. Bailey Soderman.
Yep.
Thank you very much, mate. Thank you very much. Let's see. Let's see if I can't move. Where are we? Let's see if we can't move the... Where are we? The Nutsu cow. Let's move it up to there and see if we can't... This is Nutsu cow for you, mate. The White Warrior, without being racist.
I accept.
You can be any colour you want, mate. Thank you very much, Bailey. The old Bailey. Yeah. Bailey, is there any chance... Can we get some thumbs up in chat for Bailey? And Bailey, is there any chance while you as you're throwing that coffee to me, thank you very much, my friend, that you could ask us a question which is important to you, mate. Because you're going to be a sergeant 6 months from now, just like the others in chat. Mechanic. Kraken. We didn't give him the calamari. We went with the Nutsu cow there, Corporal.
Yeah, we're interchanging them, aren't we?
Look at all the sergeants there now in chat. They look great.
Good.
Mm.
That is good.
A sniper does what a digger does, only to a finer tune. A sniper has a very, very difficult job, especially in this modern army, because people think it's about the shooting. Like JP said before, when people ask how do you become a sniper, a very simple answer: be the best soldier in your platoon.
Yep, that's what he always says. And then people ask for more, like, well, how do I do that? Well,
it ain't easy.
You be a good soldier. If you start out first, you become a soldier. Then you be a good soldier. Then you learn from the wisdom of others on how to be a good soldier. You don't get yourself in trouble. You work hard. You stay focused. You
finish everything you start.
Yeah.
Your actions will always speak loud for you. Great thumbs up there. Bailey, I hope you're feeling welcome there, mate. It's great to have you here. For those that can't be members, at least be subscribers. Tick the subscribe button, and we're happy to have you here. We want to get to 1 billion by the end of the week. Probably won't make it, but you can have expectation.
Yeah, 1 billion. That's a lot.
Well, they've got nowhere else to go now. They're kicked off every other platform.
Everybody makes 10. Maybe everyone here makes 100 like false accounts, and then they all subscribe.
No, I wouldn't want that. We don't want any Fugazis, which is the fake diamond from what movie? What movie is that from? The Fugazi. It's a Fugazi.
I've heard of it, but I don't know.
This is the most important one of all that I'm going to talk about in a second there, Lauren.
Okay.
What movie are we talking about? It's a Fugazi. What you talking about? Have we got anyone? A lot of people talk about being a sniper. The number 2, yep. And it's a lot of being sniping is also about being able to give a mission profile back, selling the job and capability back to a commander who may have an intellectual level higher than yours, and you're convincing him about something that he doesn't necessarily know a lot about, that you can deliver a capability, or tell him actively, no, that is not my role. My job is not to give you information on patterns of my life. My job is to prosecute targets on the ground, and this is how long I can sustain that role for, and then I'm out of there, and it doesn't matter what weapon I've got, because I'm the weapon. What you put in my hands is just a tool.
Was it Donnie Brasco?
Yes, it was.
King Slickster got it.
King Slickster, it's why you're the king.
Yep, exactly.
That's why I follow you.
Yep.
King Slickster. I don't remember seeing that name before, mate. Unless it's a changed name, I want you to hit that subscribe button now, or I'm gonna tear off that Donnie Brasco reward you just got.
Yeah, and you get to win, and your prize is you get to be the winner.
Yeah. Jane Hill Hunting Adventures. Wolf of Wall Street. No, it's not, but that's a fantastic movie.
That's a good film.
Yeah, it is. It is. My shares, I got into SRN today. I just couldn't, I couldn't not do it. I'm in there. And do you know what happened when I did that?
What?
They went down a pip instantly. Yeah. That's all right. Yeah. Everything I invest in is my daughter's future, but she won't know that I've done it.
Yeah, fair enough. What's this travel and beauty?
I don't know. Where are we?
That's what I see on my screen.
Travel and beauty. Yeah. Okay, Tim, you've seen me put something for JJ up there. That's a fleet. That's the Navy, which would have been my second choice of service. I've only got, if I had 3, it'd be Army, and then it would be Navy, and then it'd be probably police force, and after that it'd be entrepreneurial, or working as a camera guy, sound guy, or light guy. The travel and beauty that I've seen throughout my life, almost none of it would have been possible if I hadn't have joined the military. And I'll tell you something else. When someone gets out of the army at 4 years, 6 years, 8 years, 10 years, there is no time that you get out that is not sad for what you're going to miss next. I've been in oceans across the world, in naval boats. I've been off the continental shelf looking down at the beauty of the blue and then vomiting my lunch up. I've been through the fantastic Pearl Harbor lying in the front of a naval ship from the US, where you stand out on parade on the deck of the boat at the apex of the ship as you go through the headlands. We've done beach landings. We've flown over tropical environments in helicopters at high altitude. To be on mountains, to be in Portuguese forts, to have been in Egypt, to been throughout Israel, to been through Americas. There's so many different places. To have been through Africa, through about 6 countries in Africa. It's all of these areas where you not only won't ever go, but you cannot go unless you've got a gun in your hand and a uniform on your back with a flag on your arm that says, I'm probably going to be quicker to the trigger than what you are, young fella. So unless you want to roll the dice, just back off.
Yeah, you've had some amazing experience. In fact, you all have. All of my friends have had amazing experiences.
I still reckon I've had the most.
You've had some really awesome ones. Yeah.
It wouldn't matter how much money I had, I would not have had these experiences. To have gone to Diane Fossey's, and Madame Carr's in Central in Central Rwanda, to have done that, to have been in the tombs in Egypt, to lived in the Portuguese fort in East Timor. There's so many, but none of those are things I'd ever heard of before until I signed a bit of paper. I've got it right here. Wait 2 seconds.
Yep, we've got another new member.
Look at that. I've Shotgun Sally. Can we get some thumbs up for Shotgun? And can we also get a question from you, Shotgun, on a bit of wisdom that you have for the crowd at the moment, mate? Because we've said something you agree with on a subject that's not really about military tonight. So I'd love to hear what you've got to say too. As I look for a bit of, what do we got up here? Let's see what we've got. You're going to eat the whole bag. No, we can't go to that one. You're going to get the right one. Oops.
I accept.
I'm gonna say a word that we never say in the military because artillery believe all of a sudden they're going to start firing guns that aren't even loaded or deployed. And we're going to play that one again for you. This is from Kickboxer Team. Not so cow.
I accept.
Thank you very much, mate. Thank you very much, Shotgun Sally. And hopefully from here you've got a great question to ask us as the team says, G'day, welcome to you. And who doesn't need a shotgun? I've got a daughter. Makes sense.
Shotgun says, got about 3 months left to apply for my citizenship.
Oh, awesome.
Didn't apply to Gurkha soldiers back home, but hey, absolutely stoked about ADF. Hopefully I'll be able to unlock them cybersecurity jobs. Well, it's a good foot in the door.
So, Shotgun, explain to me, are you actually Nepalese, mate? Are you from Nepal, which I believe are some of the cutest people in the world?
And they're lovely folk.
I've worked with the Nepalese. I've worked with the Gurkhas. We worked with them in Rwanda. They done exchanges with us in the 2nd Battalion Royal Australian Regiment, second to none of the best small army in the world.
Yep.
Absolutely would love to do anything to give you a hand, mate.
Yeah, exactly. They're always ready with a big smile and friendly and lovely.
Here's something for you, team, and thank you very much, my friend. Are you living in Australia at the moment? Are you a resident? This was...
So just waiting for citizenship.
That was my passport. My certificate of enlistment. I had no idea. That's the actual parchment there that I signed. And that was me signing on 3rd of July, 1991. Captain Braithwaite was the guy that signed off on me. And everything that happened in my life, for good or for bad, the reason my ass bleeds now, is all from the signature that went on that parchment. And if I hadn't have had it, I don't know what I would have been, but I don't think I would have achieved a lot. Believe me, it was the catcher's mitt of this lost soul And without that, I don't know where I would have been. Dave D says, we had someone from Nepal in our platoon at Kapuka. Lovely people, mate. Very honourable, no boasting.
Yeah, Connor says one of his lads in the Navy is Nepalese as well.
Yeah, awesome.
Been a resident for about a year, will be eligible to apply for my citizenship by this April. That's great.
Just think, Shoddy, how easy it could have been for you to be a bloody Sherpa. Oh. What are you doing this week? Oh, yeah, going up to the top of Mount Everest. I hope I get a good tip. Yeah. Okay, there we go. Simon Powell. He joined 7th of May 1990 in RAF, where they get taught to square gate, not to march. Man,
Yeah.
I bet you think to yourself, Simon, how lucky you are to have the experiences you've had too, mate. Yep, it's crazy. Well, I was still in my nappies. King Slickster. It's fine, mate. It's fine. Because one day you're going to be saying this to someone else.
Exactly right. Yeah.
So, Lauren has never been outside Australia, have you?
Never. No.
Okay. Is there a reason why it doesn't appeal to you? It intimidates you, or?
No, I've just never, I've been too busy raising children and keeping the home fires burning. I think I've seen an awful lot of Australia, though. I've always been quite interested in travelling our great country. Yeah, I don't know. I just not that I don't want to, just never have.
Yeah. Well, now's not a good time to do it, is it? No. It's what was Brady saying there? Brady said he went in October '85. When did you get out, Brady? Let us know, mate. I've never asked you when did you get out, mate. It's wisdom starts the second you land overseas. You don't have a choice because you actually learn about everything. The culture is completely different. The smell, the clothing, the music, just everything is different.
Then and when again, there is some people who go overseas and they're not wise at all.
Look, there is people that should absolutely not travel overseas.
Yeah.
I knew a young woman who was travelling when we were over in the Sinai, and she travelled through Eastern Europe by herself, and I'm going, you stupid little girl. She shouldn't have even been allowed to go. You know, going into Eastern Europe where it is the home of misogyny, you know, and travelling by yourself as a pretty young woman who doesn't understand the English or streetwise, she'd never been overseas. You're going, what was she thinking?
Yep, exactly.
And most nights we'd get a mobile phone.